So first off, I realized about this camera that if you're not in natural lighting, the quality is just like so much worse. And today I've decided that I learned a couple new editing tricks, and it's been really not so optimal weather outside, and I'm just getting over a little bit of a bug per se. So I decided to shoot another video that's more or less indoors. If it stops raining, we're taking a walk in a little bit. There's a trail that's worth talking about a little bit, and I want to take that time, a couple of minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes, to talk about some of the problems I'm having getting the real good projects going. I'll talk about all that in the next one. Right now, I said about this here compilation video idea, like how I'm gonna show you guys projects that I've done in the past and how to do it, or a little bit of some background, and kind of just go from there. I'm hoping to make about a 15-minute video, all the different projects. This is mostly a lot to do with my new editing. I kind of want to really work on the editing a little bit and make my videos a lot more interesting. What it lacks in visual quality, I'm hoping to spunk up with personality and editing once I get better at it. So let's talk about what I've been doing. The last couple of weeks, every Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon, depending, I have been working in this room. So, as you can see, or can't see, I don't really know how good the camera view is. There's a dresser, and the dresser's full of stuff. And there's a bed, and it has some of my stuff on it that I'm going to be showing you, but that's usually cleared off completely. And then there's that bed. It's all one bed. Well, it's a twin bed, they go together, but that's completely full of stuff. This corner, up until 2 weeks ago, was completely full of stuff. And I don't know if you can really see the closet. Let me put a little bit of light on, maybe. Now, you can't see the closet, but it is completely full to the brim. So what I did was I removed about 3 garbage bags worth of stuff out of this room. Everything that was broken or old or couldn't be used, I eliminated it, and it left me about 2 by 2 foot, 3 by 3 foot space in the closet. That's all the room it left me after getting rid of all that stuff. So I cleaned up the bed, and I restacked everything and made more room. So I took everything that was in this area, which is now going to be my new closet space per se. It's going to have all my stuff. And I took everything that was in there, and I split it up between the space I made in the closet and the space I made on the bed. So then all this is open now. So you can actually breathe in here a little bit. That's kind of what I've been doing every Wednesday night or Thursday night. That's our trash day. So if I accumulate a whole bunch of trash, I can just throw it right out instead of it piling up. So that's kind of what I've been doing in the house when the weather's been bad and during the garbage days and whatnot. But anyways, first project. You've seen this in a previous video if you've been watching my videos. It's an air mover. It runs off 9-volt battery. I used a soda can for the nozzle, a whole ton of duct tape, a fan motor, which any rotating motor will work. You have to figure out what volts will power it, but any rotating motor will work. And I crafted a fan out of cardboard and a disc, and I have it on the end of this with some super glue, and the battery holder, which was my favorite part, no joke. I cut an old USB charger cord apart. It was broken, and I just used the casing for the plug that plugs into the wall. And it's the perfect size for a 9-volt battery. You pop a 9-volt battery in there, it fits snug, and it connects right to the connectors. So as long as you get positive and negative correct, All you gotta do is push it down and it turns on, and you're good to go. There's no on and off switch. But I mean, when you just pop the battery, away from contact and back to contact with, one finger, you don't really need a button. So that's one of the projects I was working on, and this is number one. So if you have any questions or want to learn anything about it that I can help you with, comment below, and I would be more than happy to help you. But there is literally 6 million videos on how to do this, but I think mine's a little unique. But if you go with my plan, it is underpowered for what I want to do with it. It works. It's just underpowered. Next. Well, when I was younger, I learned how to sew for a magnitude of reasons. And I made this guy. So, this is an old t-shirt. I can find a good place to get a full view of it. Be different, but it's a t-shirt. I sewed the bottom shut, sewed the sleeve shut, cut into pieces, and sewed on an old belt. So it's now a backpack. It has button clasps. See, there's a button and a hole. Button clasps to close it. The opening is probably big enough to fit in a cantaloupe, which I have melons on the mind, if you know what I mean. Because of another project. And I left the end of the belt on to use the either hook on keys or something, or whatever you can hook onto it. To have a little metal loop. It's very sturdy. It's a little big for me though. This lighting is horrible. This isn't too much better, but as you can see, it's a t-shirt. As I cut the sleeves off, sewn the bottom shut, like a laser pointer, except bigger, and sewed a belt to it, and buttons, which I have another one of these I'm going to do, which I might show step by step, because it's going to be better, because this is my first one ever, so of course there's going to be flaws. And I have another one I plan to do, but that's the second project I have, and if you have any questions about it, how to make it better, or things that I went through to make it happen, just give me a comment and I'll tell you what I can. So, third project that I was working on, it's a pair of jeans. Now this is my favorite pair of jeans. Like, these pair of jeans I wore when I was going out, like, partying or whatnot. And I finally got a hole in them. Like, it wasn't a repairable hole. Like, I ripped the whole crotch out of them, so it was pretty much useless. So, what I did was, as you can see, there's the button. So I cut down along the pocket. Not then cut out the pocket, but along the pocket. And then straight across the bottom. And the same thing on this side. And there's the loop. And then it's now a tool belt. So now all you gotta do is you button that around your waist, and it holds hammers in the loop, or pocket knives, or whatever you need to, screws, nuts, bolts. And it's a homemade tool belt, or an apron, or whichever, whatever, you know. And that's the third project I have going on. It takes no sewing. Like, you could sew and hem the sides, but it's going to be a dirty project, so it doesn't really matter. This room had better lighting. This would be a whole lot better. Like I said, natural lighting is key. That's the third one. And if you have any questions about that, but that's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions about it, though, I'd be sure to help you out with that. Now, here's one I wanted to talk about for a while. This is wine. Now, this is the only bottle I have left, and it's the only one I have it just got finished brewing. And I wanted to make videos on winemaking, but I just got a camera stand. So, this is the last bottle. I made, so far, grape. It was out of water, water, yeast, and old grape jelly. Like, 3 containers of old, outdated grape jelly. I was like, you know what? It's gonna make some wine, and that's what it did. And it was pretty good. Like, I got about 240s out of the deal after it was all brewed and made, and it had me feeling pretty good. So now there was that one. I made that. I made mead, which is honey wine, and it turned out pretty good. It was a little weaker than the grape wine, but it turned out pretty good. Then I did the ethanol. It was just sugar, water, yeast, and it was just plain. And I threw some Kool-Aid packet in it because I seen that and I wanted to try it, and that turned out okay. But that was even weaker than the last two. So, and then I made one with applesauce, which I don't know what was in that bottle when it was finished, but that was not wine. It was not vinegar, and there was no mold. It was just completely awful. Like, it was horrible. I took one sip and I was like ready to convulse. But just horrid. And then I made maple wine, a gallon of it, because I have 50 gallons of generic maple syrup, and that's not even like an exaggeration. Like, there is so much generic maple syrup, it's not even like rational. So I used it to make a gallon of maple wine, and it turned to vinegar, so I dumped it out. So for now, this is the one I'm really excited about. This is honeydew, sugar, water, yeast, and it's fermented for about a week and a half. And I just stuck it in the fridge 2 days ago to separate it out. I'm gonna get ready to siphon it into another bottle, which you will see soon. And we're back. So I siphoned this into another bottle, and I took a little taste, and it was like the applesauce. Now, I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't think I did anything wrong. I mean, I've seen people make wine with, a clay pot and fruit from the woods and not much else. So I don't think I did anything wrong. Now, another thought crossed my mind is that I recently got a complaint about me making wine, and from another person that lives here. So and it's no secret that somebody's been, messing with my stuff. So, I kind of wonder if somebody did something to it. But it's like the applesauce one. And, the thing that gets me is they knew I've been doing this for over a month, 2 months, about 2 months now. So, why they would decide to ruin that, it's beyond me. Maybe it just has something to do with it being natural fruit. I don't know. Maybe it's something else, but I highly doubt it. Like, there's no way the yeast ate up all the sugar, because it's only supposed to go to 14%. It's like the maximum, like 14 or 15. So, and I definitely had more sugar than that in there, and everything was sterilized because I boiled it. So, I don't know. It is a good question. I figure I'll let it sit for a little while and see if it changes. Maybe it's like natural wine instead of like the fruit juice stuff. Maybe you can't drink it green. Like, I don't know. But I did taste test it, and I was disappointed. I added a little more sugar to see if I can sweeten it up. I'm pretty sure the fermentation is over, because I had it chilled for a couple of days. But we'll see how the honeydew wine turns out. I was pretty excited for it. If I find out someone's messing with it, there's not really anything I can do. But I guess it just shows how much of a dirtbag they are. Alright. We'll get back to you with the video editing and this little walk to talk about why things are being held up so much for the more exciting things. Like, the most exciting thing I've shown you guys so far was cutting apart a 9-volt battery, past projects, and this bottle of wine, and it's not very entertaining because you don't actually get to see me do it. But I did get a new camera stand, so now that I have a camera stand, if it ever stops raining outside, I could do more interesting things like, well, I'll tell you about it on the walk. Alright. Thanks for your time, as always. And we're out. Hey, everybody. Well, I didn't get the opportunity to take that walk and talk about my problems at the moment. But I'm going to take the opportunity to do it now. I showed you my first workspace, and the lighting was horrible. The lighting here is a wee bit better. But here is where I stash and work on my more outdoorsy products. This is the pantry to the house. Secret Santa gifts. Don't tell anybody. I don't want anyone to know I'm the Secret Santa. Let's see. ASK. That's not my real name, so... or my real initials, or my real name. That's just my screen name. So, I don't want anyone to know that I'm a nice guy. That's punishable by death around here. But, so... in this pantry, there's the things I'll be working on. And I got this bucket. So you can't really see it because the lighting here isn't very good either. And that's a metal bucket with a handle. I figured I'm going to cut it off below the handle so it's a little bit more shallow. I'm going to use that as my foundry, but I only got 2 of those size plaster of Paris things and 1 Ziploc bag, 1 gallon bag of sand. So I'm not sure about that. And I got 13 fire bricks. But when I looked at how it's going, the fire bricks ain't going to fit in there right. So I pretty much have to do the sand and plaster of Paris model from the King of Random, and which is alright, but I was trying to make something that lasts a bit longer. I would align the inside with the fire bricks, fill the gaps with that as like a mortar idea, and then break a brick in half for a plinth and lay some of that there sand and plaster in the bottom. And that was going to be my idea, but it didn't happen. Not yet. I'm still working on it. I got pretty much everything kind of ready, but this is the reason why some things ain't happening the way they should. I have an angle grinder, and I can't get the wheel off of it to change it for a cutting disc, to cut the top and make a hole and cut my pipe and get everything ready. Like, I can't do that. And, I have a couple soda cans. I was going to make a ethanol burner, like an oil burner or a stove burner, and I was going to make a lantern out of them. And they're there. I'm going to do it eventually. I already made the lantern once, but someone decided to destroy it, so it's whatever. I decided to get into thermite, but getting aluminum powder is like next to impossible. I thought I'd pick up some ball bearings and you put some tinfoil in it and make a ball mill. I was gonna hide in the woods somewhere where the creek is and have it hydro powered, so I didn't have to like plug it in overnight. Just let the water do my work for me. I already got a bag of rust, so I mean a bag of finely ground rust, so it's nice rust. It's the finest great rust you can get. If you were looking for rust, there it is, and it is the best. I got a good bit of copper, probably about 1.5 pounds of brass, and not very much aluminum, but aluminum is really easy to get. Like, I can find more aluminum. That's later on. Styrofoam cups. I got 3 containers of styrofoam cups I found in my closet when I was cleaning. I decided I'm going to use those as ingot molds. Like, I would throw a sprue on the back or bury it up to the very top, and then just like fill it with molten aluminum. It'll burn out the styrofoam and I'll have a cup-shaped ingot. I'll probably just take it to like the very first or the second little ridge thing, because I don't want it to be too big, because, wow, that would be kind of pointless. That's what's holding up my my foundry build. I can't get my angle grinder working properly. I don't have the quite, I don't think I quite have enough refractory mix to do it straight mix. And I don't think I'm going to make the bricks work without cutting them into pieces. Like, bad pieces. So I was thinking about making a square foundry and then smoothing out the center for a round thing, but I don't know if that'll work either. So right now, that is pretty much what I'm going through to try to make this happen. There's gonna be my crucible. Check that out. That is the skinniest fire extinguisher I've ever seen. Like, I'm gonna cut that thing off like above the second logo and have it extra tall so I can put more into it. But that's after I get my angle grinder. So, oh yeah, and I have an old hair dryer from a thrift store, and I have that air mattress pump. And I figured if I need extra air to do copper, because apparently copper is like completely doable, but very difficult. So I figured I could do that. If I use both, like I can hand pump air into it, plus have the hair dryer going. Alright, well, that's pretty much the message I was trying to get across today. Some of the projects I have done already. I already have green sand. I don't have the money or the place to store or time to get Petrobond. But I got probably about a half gallon of green sand made up, so I can make small projects once it starts going. But I have a whole container of kitty litter. I just have to get more sand. So I want you guys to know what I've been up to, how I've been working on things, and that as soon as I'm able to progress, I'm going to progress. But as it stands, I'm having complications in the fine details. Like, I have 30 projects I want to do, and I have like every material for every one of them but one thing. So I have 1,000 projects that are ready and raring at the gate, but I'm missing one item for every project to like something crucial. So, well, thanks for your time, and hopefully you enjoy this. If you have any, I don't know, suggestions, anything to make things go a little easier, different furnace builds, like almost all of them are based off the King of Random, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good build. But I was trying to find something to incorporate the fire brick and the refractory plaster and sand both into a thing. Like, I wanted to make a 6-sided hexagon and then smooth out all the cracks and fill in all the divots with the refractory. But the bucket's just a little too small. I think it's going to be hard to find something that's going to fit unless I build a frame around it like Paul's Garage did, which I really liked. I think it's between the King of Random, Paul's Garage, and that dude that made the electric foundry. Like, those three did a great job, and I've just got to figure out which way I want to do it and actually get it done. But like I said, what I'm working with has me slightly limited. But thanks for your time, and this ran a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and well, but now it's time to go play with the editing. Alright, bye guys.